back in business. The big FAQs came out, we've read through it, and we are ready to play with it. So that's what we'll be doing today. Those will be in effect, those special rules. And so we're playing Ascension. It's a mission out of the chapter approved book. It's from the Eternal War series. So there's 3 objectives on the board here, represented by these black Inquisition boxes here that have been airdropped or scattered around by a shot down Thunderhawk, and both sides are in for it. So we've got the Drukhari coming in for these resources, who knows what they are, and the Ultramarines are coming in to defend them on behalf of the Imperium. Okay, in the Ascension mission, the objectives are scored at the end of each of your turns, so you've got to get units on there. Characters are a little bit different, that override all models that are on the objective, and if you stay on the objective for consecutive turns, you build up that score. So if you're on there for 2 turns in a row, you're going to score 2 points, and so on. So the story is a rogue element from the Kabal has been selling off technology, arms and legs, things where you can grow your Kabalite warriors back from, to a rogue element of the Ordo Xenos. So they've been selling them on. Varesk has found out about this. He's already shot down the Inquisition flyer, and as we see, the cargo has been dropped across the battlescape as the ship has went down, and the perpetrator has already been dealt with by Varesk. So the only thing left to do is just to sweep in, take back their equipment. So the Ultramarines have been dispatched. They're not sure why they're after the cargo or what it means, but they're on orders from the Inquisition, so they have to do as they're told. So here they come, ready to wrestle with the Kabal over mysterious objectives. 1600 points of my slowly building Drukhari army. So we're going to be using the triple patrol detachment from the Codex. 3 patrol detachments gives you 3 command points, a special raiding party, and we're going to be using Kabal of the Flayed Skull, because that's what they are, and then we've got a small portion of Cult of the Red Grief for the Witches. So heading up the army, we've got Varesk Maladrak. He is the special Archon. He's got the Warlord trait for the Kabal of the Flayed Skull. Gives him, essentially in the first round of combat, he's going to get +1 strength in attacks. So he's going to be a fighter. He's got a Husk Blade, and he's got a Blast Pistol. And he's got the special artifact for the Kabal of the Flayed Skull. It's when his Shadow Field saves, it reverts to a 4+ invulnerable save, so he's not totally exposed when that Shadow Field fails. And he's in charge of one of the patrols. For one of the other patrols is his second in command. It's another Archon. He's got a Blast Pistol and a Husk Blade as well. No relics for him. And for troops for these 2 patrols, we've got 2 identical squads of warriors. They're going to be in identical raiders. So there's a blaster in each squad and a dart lance in the squad, and then there's a dart lance on each raider. And each raider has the splinter racks, and they've got the grizzly trophies as well. And then the heavies, we've got a Ravager with triple disintegrator cannons on there, and we've got a unit of Scourges as well, so 2 haywire blasters for them as well. So the haywire blasters have been updated, D3 shots a piece for them, so that should come in handy. And we've got 2 Venoms for dedicated transports. We've got 2 exactly the same grizzly trophies and double splinter cannon on each. And then we've got a unit of Incubi as well, so they'll probably be riding around in a Venom. Then we've got 2 Razor Wings, so exactly the same. Got the double dart lance and the twin splinter rifle in the nose. So for the Cult of the Red Grief, we've got Succubus leading the army, leading this little detachment here, and we've got the Witches. There's Agonizer in there, and we've got the bikes, Reaver Jet bikes, 2 blasters, and of course the 2 Graph Talons in there. It's not the Cluster Caltrops, it's the Graph Talons, and that is it for that detachment. Okay, so for the Witch Cult as well, we're going to do a few things. We're going to spend a command point for Alliance of Agony, which means she also will get a Warlord trait, and her Warlord trait will be the Red Grief one, and that is, she's now got an invulnerable 3 save, so she should be quite durable. And for combat drugs, we're going for the Succubus, the Hypex, so she's got +2 inches to our move. Witches are going to have an extra attack, And the bikes, I like to make these durable, so they're going to have a +1 toughness. So they're now toughness 5, those bikes. And I'm going to spend a further command point to give the succubus an extra relic. So he's going to have the red grief archite glaive. So it's a special glaive. It's now +3 strength, -3 AP, and D3 damage, and it doesn't have a -1 to hit with that. So it's a ferocious weapon. Okay, and so because it's a new army, and it helps me remember as well, the rules for the Cult of the Red Grief, for the witches and the bikes and the succubus, they're going to be able to advance and charge and re-roll failed charge rolls. So they're going to be quite fast. And then the Kabal of the Flayed Skull, which is everybody else except the Incubi and the Scourges. These are going to, if you've got the fly keyword, and if you're on board a fly with the keyword, and you've got a rapid fire weapon, you can reroll 1s to hit. And you also added an extra 3 inches to your fly move as well. And also, for all the units with the fly keyword, you ignore cover. So that is massive for things like the Ravager and the Dark Lancers and stuff like that. Very, very good. Okay, so after we've spent those command points just to buff up the succubus a little bit, we're left with only 4 left, because we had 3 for being battle forged and 3 for the patrol detachment. We would like to see the special patrol detachment, the raiding party, for the Drukhari to go up to 5 like the battalion, to just make it a little bit more attractive, to put it in league with the battalion, given that the new battalion rules for the FAQ went up by 2, just make it more in line, more of a viable choice there. But we're going to play with it anyway, because that's what we do.
Alright, so we've got 1600 points of Ultramarines. You can see mostly the Primaris Marines, which we're sort of building up along with the Drukhari here. Now, so we've got Captain here in Gravis armour, and he's got the gauntlet and the Mastercraft power sword. Next to him we've got a Lieutenant, and he's got the auto bolt rifle. And for troops we have 3 units. We've got intercessors, and a unit of the old school tactical marines. And for heavies we have the Hellblasters and the Hunter. It's an anti-aircraft vehicle, for those who don't know. For fast attack we have the Incestors, and they've got the bolt guns, assault bolt guns. And we have the Repulsor as a transport, probably for the Hellblasters, and that's tooled up with everything you see on there. And the Redemptor Dreadnought, yeah, the elite choice there. And he's got the Onslaught weapons and the Icarus launcher. Storm Talon, there's a flyer, and it's equipped with the twin assault cannon and Skyhammer missiles. And so back to the captain in the Gravis armour there. He has the Ultramarines Adept of the Codex Warlord trait, and he has the Static Halo relic. I forgot what it was called.
Right, so this army is going to be using the new FAQ, so it's got, because it's using a battalion, it's going to have the bonus 2 command points. So a lot of command points there to play with, and he's going to be able to reimburse them on a 5 with his Warlord trait. Right, for deployment we've got 2 Venoms here for the Drukhari. In this one is the Archon and the Warlord Archon. In this Venom is the Drukhari, yeah, of course the Drukhari, the Incubi, it all ends in an I. The Incubi in that Venom. In here is just the Ravager with a squad in, and then in the corner we've got a Razor Wing. In the other corner we've got another Razor Wing. We'll go over there in fact. So here we are, another Razor Wing. Another Raider, a Ravager, the Witches with the Succubus down in the dark there, and then the Ravagers in the middle, or the Reavers in the middle. And for the Ultramarines, they've all piled in here together. So we've got the Hunter, of course, the Repulsor. Inside there is the characters, both of them, and the Intercessor squad rather. And there's another Intercessor squad in there. The Hellblasters are right in the corner of the building, and the basic tactical unit is out there as well. Dreadnought just there, then the Flyer is behind them. So they're all crammed behind the best unit in the game, which happens to be a brick wall. And of course, before the battle begins, what the Ultramarines have done, they've taken the Gravis captain and buffed him up to a chapter master, so he's going to have full rerolls. He's in the repulsor, and now he is got full rerolls for anyone around him. So that costs 2 command points, but he did get them back using the Ultramarines Warlord trait, because it can work even if you're inside a vehicle. It just says as long as he's alive. So he's alive, and now he's a chapter master for this game only. And both sides do have units off the table, so the Ultramarines have the Inceptors, they're ready to come down from orbit, and the Drukhari, they have the Scourges, they're ready to fly down from upon high. Okay, now we see who gets our first turn. So the Ultramarines finish deploying first, so they'll get a +1 to the dice roll, and here we go. So the Drukhari get a 5. Ultramarines get a 1, because U's count as 1s on these dice. So the Drukhari will go first, unless you roll a 6. No, it's a 3. So I've let them use these special Ultramarine dice for that roll, and only that roll, because I know everyone hates them. But even then, now he hits them after not getting that roll. It's always important getting turn 1, but the Drukhari didn't just get everywhere on turn 1. So, really good feel with the Drukhari. It's the first, or the second time playing them, in fact, with the new codex, and they are flying, literally. So we've had the Venom come out to here, and that's got the double Archon in, so it's holding this objective. The other Venoms moved flat out and got the middle objective, so the Drukhari are already on 2 objectives just on this side. We do have the third one over there. The Reaver jet bikes have moved flat out. They go automatic 8 inches, and that's added onto their 18-inch move. 26 inches, they just zoom over there and get that one. So already 3 objectives in the possession of the Drukhari. The Flyers, they both move up just the same, just straight up. And the Raider over here, that's moved up on high. It's going to see over the wall just a little bit. Going to see some Ultramarine vehicles. And over here, the Ravager, that moves up to the top level. Can get some shots over there. This Raider moves up. The Witches, they've moved advanced through the building. And then the Succubus, with her extra combat drugs, she goes all the way behind those crates there. So she's on the cusp. She's keeping up with the jet bikes and everything. She's really fast with those combat drugs. And of course, there's the Reaver jet bikes with the Flyers. So they're not going to find a target, the Reaver jet bikes, but the Flyers and a couple of Dark Lancers at the back there and up high, they're going to get some shots. So this is the feeling with Drukhari. You just get everywhere all at once. And now it's time to show the sting from these dark light weapons. Right, we're going to start off the shooting phase. We're going to have the Command Venom fire first. It's going to fire through that nearest window on the corner there. There's Hellblasters in there. We're not within rapid fire range, but still 6 shots from the Venom cannons at the Hellblasters. So hitting on 3s, and we'll get reroll 1s because we are Kabal of the Flayed Skull. So we get all but 1, and then we're wounding on 4s, and we'll get 2. So 2 saves on a 3. Normally get cover, but Kabal of the Flayed Skull ignore cover, so it's just on straight 3s, and gets 1, gets them both. There's a 5 behind that piece of terrain. Okay, we're going to go over here now. We're going to fire the Bright, or the Dark Lance, off the Raider at the Redemptor Dread. So at this height we can see it, and of course with the Kabal of the Flayed Skull there's no cover save. So we do hit, and needing a 3. Don't get it right. We've got a Dark Lance on board. This did move, so we're hitting on a 4 with it. We do hit anyway, needing a 3. And it's another 2, so no damage on that Dreadnought. Okay, we're coming over here for the Flyer. All weapons at the Redemptor Dread except the dueling Splinter Rifle, that's going to go at the Hellblasters in the window. So the Hellblasters in the window will get 1 hit, no wound. Right, we're going to do the Mono-Scythe Missile at the Redemptor Dread. So D6 shots, only 1. Hitting on a 3, we do get it, and then it's Strength 7 versus Toughness 7. So needing a 3, We do get our wound. It's AP -1, so he's saving on a 4. Right, there's his first wound. It's only 1 damage, the monoside missiles, but now for something more serious, here comes a double Darkland shot. We'll get 1 hit, needing a 3, and there's another 2, right. We need to roll better than 2s on the damage here. That Dreadnought has come away unscathed. Right, we're still going to have to go after the Dread. We're going to have the Ravager up top. It's going to fire down at the Dread, right. So it's got 3 disintegrator cannons on, so this is going to be harder, but we do get all hits. We just need some decent wounding going on now. 5s to wound. So we get 1 wound. It's AP -3, and it ignores your cover, so you're saving on a 6. Doesn't get it right. So 2 wounds taken on the Dread. It just simply isn't enough at this stage. Okay, it's been pretty poor so far. We're coming over this side. Hopefully we've got a bit of better luck on here. We're going to have Raider is going to fire at the Hunter. It's the only thing I can reach and see. So we're going to have the Darklands on the mounted Darklands. So that is a hit. Needing a 3. We do get it. Actually, we're needing a 4 because it's toughness to hit that vehicle. But we do get it all the same. It's AP -4 and it ignores cover. So no save, and then it's just straight on the D6 damage. It's a 5. It's taken 5 damage. It's got 11 wounds, so it's got 6 left, that one. And then we've got another chance to shoot it. We've got a Darklands on board. So this is hitting on a 4. It does get its hit, right. Now we're needing a 4. It's high toughness. We do get that as well. Right, so I think you get to save a 6 on this one. It's AP -4, but you do have a bit of cover. Gets a 5, right, so no save there. Right, again, another D6 damage. So if this is a 6, it's gone. Right, no, it's not. It's a 5. That's still very respectable. That Hunter is on its last wound. Right, we're going to try another shot on this Hunter. It's on its last wound now. We've got this End Reaver. It's the only one I can see, but he has got a blaster, and it is an assault weapon, so we can try and hit on a 4, which we do get. We need a 4 again, which we don't. Right, it's going to come through unscathed. So no more shots because they can't see on the Hunter. Okay, onto the Razor Wing now. I think this is the last thing we can fire, but all weapons are going to go on the Flyer, except the nose weapon. It's not within rapid fire of the Hunter, but we're just going to try and shave off that last wound. I mean, we could fire some more guns at it, try and get first blood, but I think just trying to take out the vehicles is more important, because we're going to have 3 points ourselves. Hopefully we can pull away in the next turn. But anyway, here we go. So 2 splint rifles at the Hunter. We do not hit, right? Monoside missile at the Flyer. So D6 shots. We're getting the full 6 this time. Some more dice. Okay, so we're hitting on 3s. Okay, there's 4 hits, and then it's strength 7, so we're needing 3s to wound. All wound, right? These are AP -1. Okay, there's 4 wounds for the monoside missiles. I wasn't actually hitting on 3s, it's 4s I meant to say, but I did roll 4s to hit, just for clarification there, because I know someone will pick that up. But we did hit 4 times and wounded 4 times. So saving on 4s because it's AP -1 for the Storm Talon. Alright, there's 1 single wound. He's doing well in the saves here. Alright, big guns now. 2 Dark Lancers at the Flyer. Double hit. That's good, because we did actually think about playing the Kabal of the Flayed Skull special stratagem. Costs a point and you get +1 to hit flying targets, but we're low on command points at the moment. I didn't want to use that, so just hitting with these weapons is a big blessing here. So 2 hits from the Dark Lance, and we're needing 3s to wound. Oh, I want to get 1. Don't want to use a command point reroll, just trying to get away from command point rerolls. So 1 hit, it's AP -4, so no save. So damage is 3. Do we want a command point reroll that? I think so. Let's go for the risk. We're going to use a command point reroll for the damage. It's still a 3. So that is it for the Drukhari first turn. Not very good. A lot of Dark Lancers going in on that Dreadnought, and he just stands with barely a scratch. But we do well on the victory points. So we've got 1 here, 1 there, and 1 there. So 3 for the Drukhari this turn. But not enough damage. Didn't secure first blood either, but we've hurt some vehicles. That's on its last tier, the Hunter. But the Flyer is still on full ballistic skill. So let's see what the Ultramarines can do. Ultramarines turn 1, so it wasn't a damaging round from the Drukhari, and now the Ultramarines are moving into position to make them pay dearly. So all of the squads that were on the bottom floor have now moved up to the top, so they're now looking through the windows here. They've got a lot on display. It's going to be a shooting gallery now. The smaller units, the small Marines, move around the corner. They're going to look to push onto an objective probably in time, but at the moment they're just going to be satisfied firing off the bolt guns. And then all of the vehicles move over to the right here. They're going to try and take on the flyers and the jet bikes as well. So the flyers move forward. It's still on full ballistic skill, remember, hasn't taken enough damage to worry it. Dreadnought is the same, he's moved over, and he's not damaged enough to take any modifiers, but he did move with his heavy weapon. The Hunter hasn't moved at all. So the repulse has gone up to the top, and before that moved it's dispensed the 2 characters. So the Lieutenant's down there, and so is the Captain, now a Chapter Master, so offering full rerolls, and then rerolls with wounds of 1. So it's a fire base, if you've ever seen one. That's it's pretty much a comprehensive castle. Okay, just before the Ultramarines start to shoot, they decided to actually bring in the reserves. So the Inceptors, they come down from the sky, and they're going to add to the shots as well. So everyone is, or should be, within 6 inches of the Captain, except maybe that unit on the end, but everyone is going to get rerolls here, including those new arrivals. Right, so first up to shoot is the Lieutenant underneath the bridge there. He's going to fire up at the flyer. So he's got a mastercrafted auto bolt rifle. He's hitting on 4s that he's firing up into the sky. Misses. Can't reroll because of the Captain, because it's worth saying now, if you're shooting at something with a -1, you can only reroll 1s and 2s, given that rerolls come after, no, minuses come after rerolls. Okay, so the newly arrived Inceptors, they're going to fire at the Reaver jet bikes. So there's a lot of shots coming in here. So to help us out, what we're going to do is we're going to play a stratagem. It's going to be light and fast reactions. It costs 2 command points. We're down to our last command point, but it's well worth it, because it's going to mean that those Reaver jet bikes are now at a -1 to hit. So there's a lot of shots coming through here, and they can reroll 1s and 2s. So off you go with the Captain. Alright, so rerolling 1s and 2s. There's a lot of rerolls in there. He's very, very happy he upgraded them. So might as well get rid of those 3s while we're here, because they don't hit. So only 2 misses, or 3 3s in there. Right, so these re-roll, and again 3s and 2s and 1s don't count now. So that did help us out greatly, that stratagem, big time. So there's a lot of hits in there, and then these are toughness 5 with the combat drugs I gave them. So it's another good attempt at durability. So you actually wound on 4s with these, because these are dangerous guns. Reroll 1s because of the Lieutenant. So classic Ultramarines these days, reroll and everything, but still could be enough. So 4s to wound. How many is that? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wounds.
7 actually. Oh no, that's the 3.
Yeah, so 6 wounds. Right, so these are AP -1. We've got a 4+ save, so 7 on 5s for these jet bikes. So only save 2, that's tragic. So there's 2 dead, unless we can get our power from pain saves. Because it is turn 1, we do have that ability. So 6s, whoa, look at that, double 6, we've saved a jet bike, but 1 jet bike does succumb to that withering firepower. Right, the Storm Talon for the Ultramarines is going to fire the Sky Hammers at the flyer, and then the Assault Cannon was going to go after the bikes, but with everything in play, that would be a -5 to hit there. No, it would be such a minus that you'd be hitting on 5, so he's not going to go after the Reavers, he's going to go after the Witches, try and pick up the first blood here. So you're going to go for the Assault Cannons first?
Okay, so 12,
so 12 shots on the Witches, hitting on 4s, but he does have strafe and unrule, so it comes down to 3s again. So rerolling 1s and 2s because of the Captain. He is within 6 of the flyer, so a few rerolls to do. So 3s needed. Gets them all, so it's a clean sweep from the Assault Cannons. This is very dangerous. Wound on 2s now, and then we'll be able to reroll 1s because the Lieutenant should be around as well. So this is probably the end of the Witches. Probably going to give a first blood here. 2s and reroll those 1s. Yeah, absolutely. So it just not a shot goes astray there. So 12 to save on the Witches. They've got 6+ invulnerables. Right, so we've saved 2, and then again we've got our power from pain, 6 to save. Nope, that's definitely the squad dead. Yeah, almost 2 times over. Okay, so the Witches are wiped out. That's going to be first blood to the Ultramarines, and then we've got 3 shots in the Skyhammer at the Flyers. So it did move with a heavy weapon, but it's going to cancel out because it's got a +1 to hit flying units, so it's going to be hitting on 3s, and then there's a -1 because it's a flying target. So hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s and 2s because of the captain. So 3 shots, and they all hit, and then it's strength 7 against toughness 6, you need 3s to wound. Here we go. Reroll 1s because of the lieutenant. So 2 wounds, it's AP -1, so we've got an invulnerable 5 save on the flyer. We do get 1, fail 1, so it's D3 damage for the Skyhammer missile. It's the full 3. Right, we're taking 3 wounds on one of the flyers straight away. Right, up next is the Redemptor Dread. It did move, and it's going to be firing at the Reaver jet bikes, except the Icarus rocket pod's going to fire at the flyer. So with that stratagem in play on the bikes, going to be a further -1 to the -1 to him moving. So he's going to end up hitting on 5s with this onslaught cannon. He's got both heavy and normal onslaught cannons firing. So it's 18 shots of the same profile, hitting on 5s, but you can reroll 1s and 2s because of the captain. Yeah, go on then. So reroll 1s and 2s. If you re-rolled in there. Those are actually the dice that you want. If you're going to miss, might as well be 1 and a 2, so you can re-roll it.
Discard the 3s.
Yeah, so discard everything that isn't a 5. So there's a 4 in there. So there's 4 shots hit so far. And let's see these re-roll. Right, and there's another 3 hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 7 in total. So normally they'd be wounding these on 3s, but with the combat drugs in play, they're actually going to be wounded on 4s because I'm +1 toughness. So off you go. Right, there's 3 so far, and then the lieutenant, you can re-roll that 1. Right, so just 3 actually. That's not so bad. So the bikes saving on 4s with a -1, needing 5s. 1 saves, and then we've got power from pain. We don't get either. Right, so we've lost another bike because they've both got 2 wounds. Okay, the Redemptor Dread's not done. He's still got double storm bolters, and he is within rate of fire range. So 8 shots with the storm bolters. So again, 5s to hit, but re-rolling. Actually, this is 4s to hit because these are not heavy weapons. So re-roll 1s and 2s. So just 2 to re-roll, and there's another hit. So 5 hits, and then needing 5s to wound because of that combat drug in play. Right, just 1 wound and no to re-roll. So saving on 4 this time. With our armour, no, and then combat drugs, no. So taking a wound on a bike. Right, Redemptor Dread's now got his Icarus rocket pod, so it's D3 shots, and this is going at the flyer. So D3, just the 1, and then he's hitting
command reroll.
Command reroll. He really wants to take out this flyer. So it's command reroll, so he's getting an extra shot. Let's see if you get the command point back with the warlord trait. What is that?
No.
No, right, so the command point doesn't come back. And he's hitting on, it is a heavy weapon, so he's hitting on a 4. And can reroll 1s and 2s because of the chapter master in play. So just 1 hit after all. And it's strength 7, so needing a 3 to wound. Gets that wound on a 5. It's AP -1, so we're back to saving on a 5. Don't get it right, so it's just 1 damage. So the fly is on 6 wounds left now. Right, next up the fire was this tactical squad. He did play Scions of Gulliman, so they did actually get rerolls in the end. 4 within rapid fire with the venom. I've already done the shots. Only 1 wound on the venom. It is hard to hit, so it struggled on the hitting. So needing to save on a 4. Nope, that's a wound on the venom. Right, going to move on to the Hellblasters here. They're not going to be overcharging any of the shots because there's a lot of -1 on display here and they don't want any part of that. So they're going to split up the shots. They're going to have 3 firing at this venom that's only on 5 wounds left, and then 2 of them are going to fire at the Reaver jet bike, see if they can kill one, because one of them's on 1 wound, so it could kill another one with just a further wound. So who's firing first, the 3 or the 2?
So it's not.
Right, so 6 shots at the venom. You're at a -1 to hit. So you've got 2 hits there, and then you can reroll 1s and 2s, so that 3 goes astray. And then these are rerolled because of the captain. And it's very, very lucky that you didn't overcharge because you would have lost 1 there. But there's another hit. So 3 hits so far. And strength 7, you're needing 3s to wound. And reroll 1s because of the lieutenant. Right, so 2 wounds. We do have an invulnerable 5 save on Venoms. Let's hope it kicks in. One of them kicks in, so that's just 1 damage. So 4 wounds left on the Venom. That could have went badly, but we saw ourselves through that. Right, now we've got 2 rapid firing at the Reavers, so 4 shots. Again, needing 4s to hit. Reroll 1s and 2s because of the captain. And just 1 hit. And needs a 3 will do. Well, 6 will definitely do. So no save on this one. So it's just an invulnerable, a power from pain save, or we've lost another bike. No, we've lost that bike. That was on a wound. Okay, so we're going to do the intercessor squad up top. They're going to fire 4 bolt rifles down, and then they're going to let off with a grenade launcher as well. So grenade, yeah. So it hits on a 3. In fact, it hits on 4 because it's a venom, but it does anyway. Strength 6, needing a 3. That'll do because of toughness 5, and it's AP -1, so we're needing 5 to save. We'll get it right on our flicker field. So now for the bolt rifles, there's 8 shots that rapid fire, hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s and 2s. So getting a lot of 1s and 2s to reroll. Gonna have to thank our captain. Okay, so just 1 miss in there, and now you're needing 5s to wound against the venom. Okay, 2 hits there. So 7 on 5s again, flicker field. No, there's 2 wounds. We've got 2 left on the venom. Okay, Revenge of the Hunter. It's going to fire at the flyer. It needs a 5 to hit because it's so damaged. It is firing at the sky, but then it's got an extra thing to keep it back on its ordinary ballistic skill. So it's missed, but it can re-roll all failed hit rolls. So since it's hitting on a 5, it's not a big deal. Double 1 will not do it. Right, the last thing to fire for the Ultramarines, we're firing the repulsor. So we fired some of the shots because it just takes a century to fire this. It's got just too many shots really. So loads and loads of shots. So the onslaught cannon the heavy onslaught cannon goes into the venom. It's ended up with 6 wounds on it. So we're going to have to save on invulnerable 5s. It's only got 2 wounds left, and it had a good attempt, but 3 wounds. There we go. It's gone. Let's see if it explodes on a 6. Does not explode. I've got 5 incubi on board on 1s that die. So we lost 2 incubi. This is not a good dice rolling session. Okay, the venom's been taken out. 2 incubi have died, and we do leave wrecks on the board. It just gives more of a thematic feel to the game. So there's 3 incubi sitting there, and then we're going to move on to the Reaver jet bikes now, because it did still fire a hell of a lot more weapons. So 2 Crackstorm missile launchers or grenade launchers fired at the Reavers. We've got 1 wound to try and save here, but it is D3 damage if we don't. So it's AP -1, so we're saving on a 5 for a Reaver. We don't get it, so it's D3 damage because it's a crack grenade essentially. And it's the full 3, so we're going to need 6s for power from pain. No, we've lost a 3rd jet bike. So we lost another one. And then there was 2 AP -1 shots that hit them. We do save 1, and then saving on a 6. No, so we're taking a wound. And then there was 2 frag storm hits on them as well. So we saved 1, need a 6, or I've lost a 2nd bike. No, so we've lost a 2nd bike. There's 1 left, and it's going to be the leader. And so we've got 1 jet bike left out after all those shots. But we've still got the double las cannon and the Icarus rocket pod to fire at the flyer. Okay, double las cannon from the repulsor. It's firing into the sky, so it's hitting on 4s. So reroll 1s and 2s, remember. So 1 hit that we can see. What's the other one?
A 3.
A 3, so it doesn't hit. So 1 hit only. It needs a 3 to wound against the flyer. Gets it. Right, we've got an invulnerable 5. No, we don't get that either. So it's only got 6 wounds left, so if you manage to roll a 6 here, it's a 3. Right, so we've got 3 wounds left on the flyer, but he's still got a Icarus rocket pod to fire, so D3 shots from this. This could take out the flyer. So it's got 2 shots coming out of it. So this is hitting on 3s because it's a +1 if you're firing at something that can fly, so it counters the flyer's hot hit ability. So 2 hits, and it's strength 7, so needing 3s. Gets 1. Alright, need to save on a 5. Nope, there's a further wound, so it's down to 2 wounds left the flyer. It's severely crippled. It's just about dead. Okay, so that's the end of the Ultramarine shooting. It was awful, absolutely awful being on the receiving end of that. Didn't do enough damage in the Dark Eldar's turn, and now they've paid the cost for that. So it's still not over. This unit is going to try and charge the incubi and take that objective off them. So it's a 10-inch charge to be made. And that's not going to be good enough. Even with a command reroll to try and get higher, it still wouldn't be done. So can't get... They did get a point for first blood, but no points for the objective. So they're doing loads of damage to the Ultramarines, but they need to start moving. They can't just live in that building all their life. Alright, leadership tests. The incubi are going to automatically pass because 2 isn't enough to make them break. But the Reaver jet bikes, they've lost 5 and their leadership 8. So need 3 or under. We do. He hangs on. And he stays in the game. Turn 2 for the Kabal of the Flayed Skull. So we're going to have to pray that we do significantly better than we did in our first turn because we're going to need it. We're still playing for points, but we need to do some damage, or else we're just going to get shot. So the most significant thing is this. We've got this Venom on the move, just to get close enough to fire on full shots here. So we've dropped off the Warlord Archon on this objective. Hopefully he can stand there by himself. This Raider came down from up here. This has got a full squad in, so it's getting in close range and rate of fire. We have got Splinter Axe on there. It can do damage, but on the other side of that Raider is the second in command Archon. So he advanced, he got out from this Venom, advanced and moved all the way over to that objective. So we're trying to get the characters on the objectives here. We're going to have to soak in as many points as we can, because we might just get whittled down slowly and surely, or quite quickly in fact, now that we've got significantly less command points to play crafty stratagems with. So the incubi are on the move. They're going to have to chop something up, and the succubus advanced out from her cover. She's gone that far, so she can assault some stuff. She can charge after she advanced because she's from the cult of the Red Grief. So let's see if she can get in there and make it happen. This fly has moved on. It's going to try and shoot the Ultramarines in the back like all Dark Eldar do. At the end of the movement phase as well, the Scourges, they've come down. There's 2 Haywire Blasters. They're going to have to put on a good performance to try and do something. And up here, this still stands still. So we're going to have that vehicle fired down at the Hell Blasters. We're going to try and take them out. It is 2 damage apiece each shot. So it's the perfect thing to try and kill Primaris Marines with. But we need to get some results. The bike still hangs on this objective. We've moved the Raider up to get onto that objective as well. Again, we've got dark light weaponry on board here. We're going to have to try and do something to the vehicles. We can't have these two culprits just pump out as many shots as they did. So we've had this flyer, the damaged one, move on. This is now hitting on 5s, but we've got a trick we can try and pull to hopefully bring that back into the game somehow. Okay, so first things first, the Ravager upon high is going to fire down at the Hell Blasters in the building. So because we're cult of we're Kabal of the Flayed Skull, we'll ignore cover. So AP -3, it's going to be pretty deadly on these if we can get some decent hits. So we're hitting on 3s, and that could have been a lot better. So we've got 4 hits, 3s to wounds, strength 5, but we do get all conversions. So 4 wounds, saving on 6s, each failure is Hell Blaster vaporized. No 6s, so down to 1 Hell Blaster left, just like that. Those disintegrator cannons paying off big time there. Okay, this Venom is going to try and finish off that last Hell Blaster. We are in close range now, so 12 shots. And we get reroll 1s because it's a rapid fire weapon for Kabal of the Flayed Skull. Okay, so decent amount of hits, I think. I don't know. Probably not. 4 still wound. Oh, right. 4 wounds. He's in cover, but again, because we are Kabal the Flayed Skull, we ignore cover. So 4 wounds put on him. He's going to need 2 failures to drop down dead. Let's see what he does. That'll do it. 3 fails. That's the Hellblaster squad gone. Okay, we're going to move on to this Ravager now. So we're going to fire the warriors on board. We're going to have all splinter weaponry is going to fire into this unit. And then the Dart Lance is going to fire into the Repulsor, as is the Blaster on board. So the Dart Lance is hitting on a 4 because it did move, and he's missed. So the Blaster needs a 3 to hit because it's an assault weapon. We do get that hit. Alright, we're needing 4 to wound because it's toughness 8 that vehicle. No, it's a 1. The Dark Light weapon stuff not doing anything with the Ultramarine vehicles. And then we've got a lot of splinter stuff to fire, so we are not within rate of fire. Don't think. I'll have to measure that. Okay, we are absolutely within 12 inches. So here we go. Hit on 3s with the splinter rifle. So we can reroll 1s as well, because that's our Kabal trait. And there's a 1. And the trick is, because we've got splinter axe, for every 6 is an additional shot. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So an extra 4 splinter shots coming in, which is always nice, always welcome. And we're wounding on 4s against that tactical unit. Here we go. Alright, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds to save on 3s. So here we go. 3s to save. 2 die. Alright, we've got the Dart Lance on board, attached to the vehicle. It's going to fire at the Repulsor. Let's see if we can get something going here. No. Still misses, just cannot do anything with these Dart Lances. What is going on? Okay, so it's not going very well for the anti-tank weaponry. We're going to have to move on to the Scourges. We're going to fire the Haywire Blasters at the Repulsor tank, and then the Shard Carbines are going to go at the Inceptors. So we're going to do the Haywire Blasters first. So they're now D3 apiece. So let's see what we get. That ain't good. So 2 shots. Hitting on 3s, we get 1 hit, and then on a 4 to mortal wound, on a 6, there's no point talking about it because it's a 1. So, yeah, nothing from the Haywire Blasters, that's disappointing. And then we've got Shark Carbines at the Inceptors, so 3s to hit. And then the R toughness 5, but with the poison, only need 4s. So 3 wounds on those guys, so needing 3s to save, and they're all save. Okay, we're pretty desperate now. We're going to have to fire this flyer into the Repulsor, and that's all weapons, except the double splinter rifle is going to go into this squad here. So the double splinter rifle gets 2 hits, 4s to wound, 2 wounds, save on 3s, and they both save. Right, so now for the Dart Lancers. So we've got 2 Dart Lancers at the Repulsor, 3s to hit. We'll get 2 hits. Right, 4s now. Should get 1, and we don't get any. Monocyte missile at it. This is just being terrible. 3 shots, 3 hits, 5s to wound, and we get a reroll filled wound rolls for the monocyte missile. 1 wound, and you save on a 4, so it's AP minus 1. Right, there's another wound on the Repulsor tank. A long way to go. Okay, so true desperation mode now. We're going to have to fire this flyer in the corner. What we're going to do is going to play the special stratagem for the Kabal of the Flayed Skull. If you've got the fly keyword and you fire another unit with a fly keyword to 1 command point, you get a +1 to hit. So it hits on a 5 because it's so damaged, but now it's going to be hitting on a 4 against the Repulsor because that's got the fly keyword. So we're going to have all weapons at the Repulsor except the Shard Carbine is going to go at the unit just behind them, the Inceptors. So we've got rapid firing at the Inceptors. Again, they have the fly keyword, so we'll be hitting on 4s against them. So we'll get 2 hits, 2 wounds, saving on 3s. Takes a single wound, not bad. Alright, against the Repulsor, here we go, Dart Lancers, hitting on 4s, come on, let's make it happen. There's 2 hits, get 6s, come on. We don't get any again, we needed 4s and we just kind of get it. Monocyte missile, come on, 6. Come on, 4s. Oh, 1. 5. We do get 1 wound, so it saves on a 4. And it saves, so it's not going well for the technology here. Okay, so we're down to this raider now. We're going to have to, we fired this at the fly, it didn't do anything, obviously, but we're going to fire the raider now. The splinter rifles are going at the interceptors, and then we're going to have the dart lance on board, it's going to go at the flyer. We're going to have the blaster on board go at the flyer, and then the dart lance on board is going to go at the dread. So the dart lance on board at the dread is going to be hitting on 4s, because we did move and it's missed. Then we've got the blaster on board at the flyer, it's going to hit on 4s because it's firing in the sky. We do hit, needing a 3 to wound. We do get it finally, so no save at AP -4, so it is D6 damage. We'll get a 4, that's significant. Right, 4 wounds clipped off it. Okay, 4 wounds left to go on the flyer, but we're going to do our splinter rifles at long range into the interceptors. So again, we've got splinter racks on board, and we can reroll 1s, and that 6 becomes an extra hit, so we'll include that one. Alright, so we're needing 4s to wound. Come on, make it happen. That's good, it's very good. 5 wounds to save on 3s for the interceptors. Ouch, there's 2 wounds, so that's 1 dead and a wound passed on. Okay, in fact he's going to command reroll one of those armor saves because he likes these interceptors, he wants to keep them alive. Does pass on the command reroll, so let's see if you get the reroll back. That's a 4, no. Okay, we're down to the dart lance attached to the vehicle. It's going to shoot at the flyer, we need a 4 to hit. We get it, right. 3s to wound. I'm pretty nervous about this one. We do wound, AP -4, no save whatsoever. It's got 4 wounds left. Let's see if we can just take it out. Come on, please. Yes, it's gone. On a 6, it explodes and there's a lot around, but no, right. It goes down quietly. Right, so the flyer's gone down. That's big news. It's finally killed a vehicle. It's got a lot of firepower, but it's the only vehicle that could possibly whip out and go and get one of the characters and kill him outright with all that firepower. So we're very, very pleased about taking out that. Okay, so that's the end of the shooting for the Dark Eldar. It's been not so good, but we did get that flyer, but now it's time for charging. We might be able to kill some more stuff. So that the Incubi are going to charge this unit here, and the Succubus is going to try and take on a full intercessor squad by herself. So there's 2 who can see the window down. I'm just going to sit and look over the side and get her. So there's a bolt rifle, and one of them's going to drop down a crack grenade on her. Is it a crack or a frag?
Yeah, crack.
Crack. So hitting on a 6 with the white dice. You can actually reroll 1s. In fact, you can reroll all failed hit rolls, so all of those can be rerolled. And 1 bolt rifle hits, and you need a wound on a 3. Gets that wound, right. So our warlord trait, because we gave an additional warlord trait to her, we did spend a command point on it. Let's see if it works. Invulnerable 3 save. No, right. That's so that wasn't worth it so far. Let's see if we can get the combat drugs. No, not the combat drugs. The power from pain 6+. Come on. Oh, it showed us a 6 and everything. Right, so she's taking our first wound, so she needs to get into combat with him, and she does on a whopping 11. Okay, the Succubus goes in then, and then we've got the Incubi going in against these 3. So they're going to 2 bolt guns right of firing and then 1 grenade, but no rerolls for these because they're out of range of the captain. Okay, no hits, so they're going to go in nice and easy like that. Okay, we'll try to charge these Scourges in as well at a long charge, but they didn't make it even with a reroll, but they had a go. Right, so we'll just reposition the Succubus as well. We're going to try, if she does well, then there's something we can try and do. So we'll see if that comes off. But anyway, we're going to fight with the Succubus first. So she's got a special relic glaive, so she doesn't -1 to hit here. So she's hitting on 2s against the intercessors, and she rerolls 1s. Come on, don't do this. Right, all hit. Strength 6, needing 3s. Oh, we only get 2. It's AP -3, this special relic. So they're saving on 6s. Right, no saves, and it's D3 each. So this is the reason why I've attacked the Primaris Marines. So come on, let's do it. D3, we've killed one, and another one would help. Yes, 2 intercessors go down. And so we're going to move on to this fight now, but the Ultramarines are going to spring counter-offensive stratagem. So they're going to jump the queue and fight these incubi before they swing their glaives. So there's 4 attacks in there, and actually we'll do you get your command points back, because it's 2 command points, isn't it? So on a 5 plus, get 1 back. Okay, right, so 4 attacks because the sergeant is still with them, and you're hitting on 3s. So 4 dice. 3s to hit. Gets 3, and then 3s to wound. And just the 1, right, we're going to save on a 3 with the incubi armour. We get it on a 4, right, so okay, so we're going to fight with the Clavex first. He does have a fancy rule where his damage becomes higher, but it's not going to matter against 1 wound Marines. But he does hit on a 2, and he's got 4 attacks. And he's hit 3 times. It's strength 4, so needing 4s to wound. We'll get 1. Saves on a 3. The Ultramarines. Doesn't get it right, so we've dropped an Ultramarine. And then there's the other 2 to fight. Hitting on 3s, these guys, and that is Waffle. 4s to wound. Need to just polish 2 off here. We'll get 1 single wound. Need to save on a 6, or else they're just going to linger on. And he does. Only kill 1. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, so moving back over to this combat, the intercessors will attack. There's a lot of attacks in there, 7 attacks with just 3 of them. And they will get full re-rolls for the captain, and then re-roll 1s to wound with the lieutenant just underneath them there. So they're important units still, only 3 strong. So they're hitting on 3s and re-roll misses. Okay. Re-roll. Okay, all but 1. So it's 3s to wound now. And re-roll 1s because of the lieutenant underneath. Alright, 5 wounds on the succubus. And she's got an invulnerable 3 saves. I'm not going to talk this one up. The invulnerable 3, because it didn't work the last time. So it's just got 3s. Come on. Oh, I should have talked it up. 4 wounds. So she could be dead unless I get some really good power from pain. Saves. She gets 1. She's already taken a wound, but she's taken another 3 in that combat. I think she's only got 4 wounds. She's got 5 wounds. She's hanging on by the skin of her teeth with 1 wound left. Alright, so that combat will continue. The succubus can almost pin them in. We'll have to have a roll off. That's their special rule. We'll come to it when it comes. So she's on her last wound, but she might make something of herself. Wasted 2 command points on her. 1 for a warlord trait, 1 for that glaive, and she's disrespected me. You're on thin ice. But we did well on points. We've got 1 in the distance there. We've got 1 here and 1 here with the warlord. So 3 points again in this turn. We may just get blown off the board eventually with all this Ultramarines firepower, because we're not doing much damage ourselves, but once again we are rolling in the points. Alright, Ultramarines turn 2. The shooting gallery is still open. So the repulsor is on the move. It's kept its cargo intact and still is within 6 inches of the captain and the lieutenant on the other side of the wall, who are moving up to take on the blundering incubi. So big attack coming forward towards the Dark Eldar objectives that they thought might be a little bit safe on, but the repulsor is out and about now. It's going to start mowing down everything in its path. The repulsor Redemptor, Dreadnought, steps forward 8 inches, comes out of his little cubby hole there. He's going to take the fight of the Dark Eldar on this objective. So it's looking scary now. The Ultramarines are starting to move out. The fight on here will continue. The Ultramarines are not going to bother dropping back. They're just going to fire out with the pistols. She's only got a wound left, so she'll probably die in the close combat phase, if not with the pistols. And then the Inceptors, they jump back to take on the Scourges. So it's still a lot of shots between just 2 models. And then, of course, they're going to fight in combat, so the Scourges look like they're on borrowed time. They had the chance, they came in to try and do some mortal wounds on vehicles, tried the big assault, but now the Ultramarines, once again, are going to make the Drukhari pay. Alright, the Ultramarines are going to start the shooting phase. They're going to fire off the pistols here, so 3 pistols targeting the succubus. This could be her end. So all hit, no need for the rerolls. Wound on 3s, and she's wounded 3 times. Let's see if she can save. Fails 1, and then we're going to need power from pain to stay alive on a 6. Nope, she's dead. Alright, so that's the end of the succubus. Okay, next up we've had some shots at the scourges. So the lieutenant, the captain is out of range, but the lieutenant fired his bolt gun at the scourges, didn't kill any, and then even the inceptors rolled absolutely terribly, just ones exclusively, only killed one scourge. So we've been very, very lucky there. And now it is time for the hunter, the damaged hunter. It's hitting on 5s. It's going against the venom here. So it's going to be a +1 to hit because it's got the fly keyword. So it's actually going to be hitting on 4s now. So here we go. 4s for the hunter.
Oops,
in fact, no, it's 5s because this is at a -1 to hit just naturally. So you are back up on 5s. Alright.
No,
a lot of acrobatics.
So I rolled 2 dice and I got 5 and 6.
Alright, so roll dice on a 5+, you will hit. No, but you can re-roll because it's the built-in weapon rule. Doesn't get it right, so the hunter still does not find the mark. Right, got bolt pistols in this combat, 2 shots, both hit, and then 3s to wound, and they both wound. Right, saving on 3s with the incubi, and then power from pain to try and keep alive. No, we've lost another one. Right, so down 2 incubi left in that. Over here for the dreadnought, he's going to fire all weapons at this raider over here, except the hurricane bolters, double storm bolters going at this last Reaver jet bike. So here come the onslaught double cannons at the raider. So hitting on.
I'm playing. Sorry, that's what I'm playing. The Wisdom of the Ancients.
Wisdom of the Ancients is on this dread, so he's going to reroll 1s, see if he gets his command point back to 2. No dice. Right, he's hitting on 4s because he moved with the heavy weapons, and he gets to reroll 1s because of Wisdom of the Ancients. Here he goes. So triple 1 in there to reroll. So needing 4s. So 2 do convert, so that was a good use of that stratagem there. And all those, and you're needing 5s to wound because it's toughness 6, that vehicle. So it could be hard, could be easy, depends what you roll. Off you go. That looks okay. There's 5 there and then another 2. So that's 7 wounds on the raider, and we're saving on 5s. So we're going to need a good roll here to counter that. We don't. We get a bad roll. 6 wounds. There's 4 left on the raider, and not only that, there's still more to be fired because they've got the Icarus rocket pods. That's D3 shots at it. So 2 shots. And this is needing 3s to hit because it's got a +1 against flying vehicles. So it does get 1 hit. It needs a 3 to wound. Gets it. AP -1. Needing a 5 again. Still don't get any saves. So it's another wound. So there's only 3 wounds left on the Ravager now, on the Raider. Alright, double Stormbolter at the Reaver. So 8 shots. And rerolling 1s because of the Ancient Wisdom of the Ancients. Alright, so 2 miss. And 5s to wound because of his combat drugs, keeping him hopefully safe. There's 3 wounds. He's got 2 wounds. Let's see if he can survive. Here we go. 4s to save. Fill 2, and then combat drugs, not combat drugs, power from pain. Save 1, so he's left with 1 wound left. He's hanging on for his dear life. Alright, we're firing the repulsor now, so it's sliced up its firing into manageable chunks on what it's going to fire at. So the big guns, the double onslaught cannon and the las cannons and the Icarus array are going to fire all the way up at the Ravager up top there. It's going to try and take that out in one clean sweep. And then we've already fired the Fragstorm and the Iron Hill Stubber at the bike in the background, and then the Fragstorm launches at this Raider. So what's happened is we've got 1 wound on the Raider to save at AP -1, so we need to save on a 5 or he's dead. Okay, we need to save that on a 6 with the power from pain. We're done, right? So the bike's gone. No need to take those saves with the frag launches. So we've got the crack launches at this. Only 1 hit and only 1 wound. It's AP -1. We're saving on a 5 on the Raider. We'll get it, right? It's a bit of better luck there. Right, but now it's time for all the big shots. So you're going to do your 2 las cannons up top, up on high. So these hit on 3s because it's got power of the machine spirit. Okay, 2 las cannons hitting on 3s. So just one hit, but you can reroll that because the captain is within 6. Still a 1, right, so just one hit and needing a 3. Doesn't get it on a 2, wow.
Command reroll.
So command reroll, which we can expect. Just endless amount of command points here with the warlord trait.
No, don't get it back.
Okay, right, so here we go, another bite at the cherry. See if it can...
Use the other one.
Right, it does wound, and then we've got an invulnerable save of 5. We don't get it, right, so D6 damage, it's 4, right, so he's got 6 wounds left, and now there's the 18 shots from all of the weaponry on there. So here we go, both onslaught cannons firing at the Ravager that is within 24, so both of them can fire. So 3s to hit, re-rolling all failed hit rolls. That common feeling, there's a 2 in there. So here we go. So 2 additional hits with the rerolls. Okay, right, it's strength 5 against toughness 6, so you need 5s to wound. And you can reroll failed wounds of 1 because of the lieutenant on the other side of the wall. Okay, reroll those. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wounds.
Yeah, 4.
Right. Here we go, invulnerable 5 saves to the rescue. We'll just get 1, so there's 3 wounds. It's down to 3 wounds left, this Ravager. And the rocket pod is ready to fire, so it's D3 shots. It's only getting 1 shot, right, so it's definitely not going to be taken out this turn. But he does hit, needs to wound on a 3, gets that wound, again, 5s to save. No, so we've taken 1 wound, or is it D3 wounds?
I think it's 1. 1.
Just 1, right, so 2 wounds left, it's on its last tier, it's going to be basically crippled, that vehicle now. So mercifully, the shooting phase is now over for the Ultramarines, just re-rolls after re-rolls gets the job done. So we've got this, it's on 3 wounds left, the Raider up top, or the Ravager rather, it's on 2 wounds left. This is still untouched, and that is untouched, but it's ready to be assaulted. So that's where we're going now, we're going to move on to the assault phase. We've got these moving in on the Scourges, we're going to do Overwatch on them. The Dreadnought's going to move in on the Raider, see if we can get an Overwatch shot there as well. And then the Captain and Lieutenant probably going to move in on the Incubi too. So all charges have been made, the Captain and Lieutenant get in there. The Captain needed even a command reroll to get in, he almost failed, but he's in there. Did get his command point back as well. Over here they're in, and the Dreadnought of course just waltzes in there, he's ready to get stuck in. Alright, so the Dreadnought will fight first. The Drukhari ran out of command points long ago, so no jump in the queue of any sort. So the Dreadnought will fight first. He's even played a stratagem for Wisdom of the Ancients. He's going to reroll 1s in combat, which could be pivotal here. So he's got 4 attacks, and he's hitting on 3s. Rerolls 1s. Okay, well, he's only got 1 hit, but he's got a reroll because of Wisdom of the Ancients. He might need it, right? So he's got 2 solid hits there. He's going to wound on, what's his strength?
So it'll be 6 basic strength.
Uh-huh.
And the combat Dreadnought is ×2.
Right, so he's wounded on 2s because it's only toughness 6 this vehicle, so he might just tear it out the sky. So he gets both hits. AP -3, no doubt. So what's the damage then? Just goes straight to damage.
So it is 3 damage.
Okay, well, correction. He was looking at the Ironclad Dreadnought for some reason. So it's actually strength 7 with a double ×2 strength, so he's up to strength 14. So everything still stands, but instead of being a flat 3 damage, it's actually D6 damage as a Redemptor Fist. So 2d6 for damage, and it's still alive, remarkably. 7 wounds. It's got 3 left. Okay, so we've got more combat. So we've done the Inceptors over there, the crushed one with the mortal wound blow that they did, and then killed 1 in combat. So 2 Scourges gone over there, and now we've got the Captain fighting. So he's got 5 attacks, and he's attacking with his power sword. So he's hitting on 2s, gets them all. Well, actually, there's 1 to reroll, in fact. Right, he does get them all. 3s to wound against the Incubi. And he can reroll. No, he can't because he didn't get any 1s there. He's got the Lieutenant on hand, but didn't give him the right orders. So 3 wounds to save there. It's AP -3, so saving on 6s. We'll get 1, but there's only 2 left. Now we need to do our power from pain, but it's a mastercrafted power sword, so it's 2 damage each. So the first guy, he's going to have to get double 6 to stay alive. No, and then the second guy, no, he's dead as well. Okay, so after the captain's just slain the 2 incubi, that is the end of the assault phase. We did attack with the Scourges, didn't do anything, and the Ravager had a good go at the Dreadnought, but didn't do anything either. So the captain has chosen not to consolidate. He doesn't want to expose himself, but the lieutenant looks a bit cold there. He's out in the wing. The repulsor might save him from anyone shooting at him, but it's something to consider. Right, so it's been another punishing Ultramarines turn. We've lost more Drukhari vehicles, but they're still struggling to get some points, because the Dreadnought did move onto this objective, but there still is a vehicle there, so that is contested, that objective now. This one, still Drukhari's, as is the one in the backfield. So 0 points for the Ultramarines this turn. It looks like they're just focused on eradication of the Xenos. Alright, Drukhari turn 3. We need to do something. We need to take out at least 1 unit, and I think we could be okay. We've suffered the worst. Now it's time. Come on, we need to do some damage. So the Scourges, they've jumped out of combat. We've got one last chance to do anything with the Haywire Blaster. So we're just going to put all fire on this Dreadnought. We just need to get rid of it. We absolutely need to. So the Flyer, the fresh one, has come over here. He's going to try his hand at dealing with this Dreadnought. This peel's out of combat. It's got the fly keyword, so we'll be able to shoot, as will everyone on board. So we've got lots of Darkland shots to fire at this, but we've been doing that the entire game, so let's hope this is the time. Alright, this is still heavily damaged as well. It's hitting on 5, so it's not going to move. It's just going to try and pick up some damage on something if it can hit. And in the centre here, we've been slightly more aggressive. We've moved the Archon. He's still within 3 of the objective, because that's crucial at this point. The Archon is in range with his blast pistol. Everyone else's dark light weaponry hasn't been working. Let's see if the Archon has afforded a better piece of technology for him. So we've still got this intact. The transport itself will be suffering ballistic skill modification, but the guys on board should be still okay to fire. This has moved back to protect the Warlord Archon, Varesk Maladrak. He's going to try and continue. And then the Flyer, the damaged one, is hitting on 5s, but it actually has a target on the captain. He is the nearest. If we get lucky, we might be able to snipe him out. Okay, so this is where we'll start. So we'll have all weapons at the captain. So the double splinter rifle in the nose is going to fire at him. Got 1 hit so far, but we do reroll 1s because we are... Oh well, forget it. I'll not finish that sentence. So, forced to wound because it's poison. Yep. So he's 7 on 3. Oh, takes a wound. That's a good omen. Okay, so because he's got an invulnerable save of 3 with Santa Kilo, we're going to try a neurotoxin missile. So it's 3d3 shots. So we're getting 6, 7, 8. That's not bad whatsoever. But what is bad is the fact that we're going to be hitting on 5s. Okay, just 2. Could be a pretty potent gun if I were on full ballistic skill. But it does wound on 2s. That's its special rule. Just the 1, and he's saving on his 3 plus armor save. Gets it, right. It's given good chance to die there. But now this is the best chance we've got. 2 Dark Lancers on 5s. Don't get any, right. So Captain goes... Just takes a single wound, dodges the Dark Light. Alright, this Archon with the blast pistol, he's going to have a go at the repulsor. He hits on a 2, that's good. Needs a 4. Gets it. Right, finally. We're able to wound a tank. So it's straight D6 damage. I'm really excited about this. But not anymore. We'll go roll a 1. Okay, so next up we fired the venom at the 2 Marines there, killed them both, stone dead, but only just. So they're dead now. We can't target any of the characters because the repulsor is nearer and just wanted to get rid of something. So now we've got this. We're going to have all guns at the repulsor, even the splinter rifles. We just need to get as much firepower on that as possible. Here we go then. So we've got a dart lance on the vehicle itself, and that'll be hitting on a 4 with its damage. So it hits. That's the first step. Needs a wound on a 4. And he gets it. Finally our dart light is working, but can we get better than a 1? No. So there's another wound. Okay, next dart lance. This one is going to be hitting on a 3 because it's just stayed still. He hits, needs a 4. Gets it, right. We've got another chance of rolling. Anything but a 1, that cursed phrase. We get a 5 this time, right. We're starting to get somewhere now. And then we've got, so there's 5 wounds on it, and then we've got a blaster on board. Hits on a 3, he gets it. Again, we need that. Sought after 4. No, that fails this time. Right, so all of the splinter weaponry wasn't such a bad idea after all. With the splinter axe and re-rolling 1s, we're able to put a wound on the tank, failed its armor save. It's got 5 wounds left. We've done some damage this round. Right, now we're coming over here, we're going to try and do some damage on this dread. He's already taken 2 wounds, so we'll just need to do some significant damage to him, and then he could be out of our hair. So, on the board we've got the Dark Lance, hitting on a 4 because we're moved. He gets it on a 5 in the distance, need that 3 on him. Get a 1. Okay. All of the weapons on board are going at him, even the splinter rifles. So, blaster. Hits on a 3, doesn't hit, and then the Dark Lance hitting on a 4. No. Sea of 1s. Curse our dice. Alright. We've got splinter rifles. Just do these off camera. Alright, so we've rolled for the splinter weaponry. No damage on the Dreadnought, so he's still okay. Right, we're going to do the Scourges now. We're going to fire the splinter carbine at the Inceptors in the back, and then we're going to fire the Hairwire blaster at the Dread. So we'll do a Shark Carbine at the Inceptors. We've got 3 hits. Got 1 wound. Needs to save on a 3 on his armour. Does it. Right, now we've got the last chance with the Hairwire Blaster. D3 shots. Gets 2. Hits 2 times. We need a double 6 to bring the house down here. No, we don't get any 6s, but what we do get is a mortal wound, because a 4 is a mortal wound. And it's it doesn't hurt it with its other wound, but mortal wound it is. Okay, so we're desperate now. We're going to have to fire this down at the repulsor. If we can just cause a wound on it, then it'll be on its last tier and it'll be hitting on a much worse ballistic skill. So 5s to hit with the disintegrator cannons. So we've got 3. Now we need 5s again. We get 1, and you need to save that on a 6. And he doesn't, so that's 2 damage. It's on its last bracket. Okay, so we're going to try and be greedy here. We're going to split our fire with the flyer. We're going to do the nose guns at the repulsor. We're going to do monocyde missile at the repulsor, and then the 2 dart lancers, last chance at this dread. Hopefully we can roll an astounding set of dice here. So 2 dart lancers, come on. We get double hits. We need 3s on this. We're going to get 1. So D6 damage because there's no save. And we'll roll a 4. A respectable 4. Right, there we go. Dreadnought, he's on his 2nd tier now, so he's got 6 wounds left. Still a long way to go on him. But at least he's hitting on slightly less powerful ballistic skill. Right, so we've got the monocyde missile and the double shard carbine. Not shard carbine, it's a splinter rifle. Dueling splinter rifles. So we get 3 hits. Needing 6s on the vehicle. We get 1, 7 on 3. Can he do it? No, we can't. Wow. So it's got 2 wounds left. The monocyde missile could be the one to do it. Here we go. Get 3 shots. Hitting on 3s. We get them all. Wounding on 5s, get strength 7. And we get a reroll filled wounds with this missile. Oh, nothing. Alright, it's got 2 wounds left. Don't dare do anything. Okay, so with that, just that 1 bit of damage, we've been able to knock that down. Its last 2 wounds, which means it's on its last bracket, which means its firepower is diminished. with it now hitting on 5s. Dreadnought's hitting on 4s, still couldn't kill either one of those vehicles, but we're doing a little bit better here. So we're doing some damage, still a long way to go on, but we're scoring big on the points yet again. Didn't shift this Dreadnought, so we aren't capturing this one. We could have disembarked the unit, but we would have been gunned down surely by something swiftly, so we're still going to contest that one. Over here it's a different story. We've got a character on this objective and he's been holding it for 2 turns, so there's 2 points there. Same with the Warlord Archon in the background, he's been there 2 turns, so there's another 2 points there, so 4 points for this turn, even if the damage has been minimal. So we're still ahead, and we're ahead by miles now. Alright, we're on to Ultramarine turn 3 now, and it's going to be a difficult game for them to try and get a win on. The Drukhari is so far ahead on points, but the Ultramarines definitely have the firepower. So the squad here got out of the repulsor. They're ready to wrestle this objective from the Drukhari. There's the 3-man squad remaining. They're stepping down. They're going to try and come into the field and take more objectives. The intercessors, they've jumped back over right into the face of the Scourgers, going to finally put them down once and for all. And over there, alright, so over here the repulsor's reduced to a 3-inch move. He's going to return fire on the Archon. He is nearer now. And then the 2 characters, they're marching up to get that objective. So remember, the characters in this game are important if they get on objectives. So they're going to try and take this one off the Drukhari. This is still active, remember. This has got 3 wounds left and a full 10-man squad inside. So it's over to the Ultramarines. They're going to have to start picking up points, and quick. Right, the Ultramarines mop-up job commences. So the Inceptors, one of them fired at the Scourgers, killed them both, and then one of them fired down at the Raider here, shaved off a wound, and then these 3 have fired at the Raider and have killed it. So we're going to see if it explodes on a 6, because there's a lot of Ultramarines around. Let's get a 6 for once. Nope, goes down quietly, and then the 10-man unit has to disembark, and it's an ugly scene to arrive in. Okay, so the warriors have got out, and the climate is dangerous. Lost one in them clambering out of the vehicle. Again, just leave the burning vehicles on the board, looks cooler. So now, just as I've put them down, they might just be erased. So we've got this unit of intercessors. They're going to fire on the warriors, so hitting on 3s. Okay, that could have been slightly better, but then the wound on 3s now. Here we go. Okay, wow, 5 wounds. So we need to save on 6s, and we don't. And then we've got another chance of 6s for power from pain. Okay, so we've lost 4. Okay, so with there only being 5 warriors left here, the Dreadnought decides to shoot all of its weapons up the top here. It's hitting on 4s, and it's done well. So there's been 1 wound from the Onslaught Gatling Cannon. We're going to need to save on a 5, invulnerable 5. Which you don't, it's down to its last wound now, and then we've got 3 to save off a well targeted Icarus pod. So we need to save all of these to survive. 5s, no, it's gone. It doesn't matter if it explodes, it's the only thing up there. So that is now dealt with, and the Ultramarines will move on. Alright, we've moved over here onto the repulsor. In fact, we've fired the 2 characters here. This is significant. The Lieutenant didn't do any damage with his mastercrafted bolt rifle against the Raider, but the Captain did, is put it down to its last wound, and now the repulsor is firing. So all the weapons have been dedicated. He fired the double las cannon over here and missed. The double onslaught cannon and the Iron Hail stubber are going at the Archon. All of the other weapons were going at here. So we've survived the Icarus array. We've survived. No, we might not survive the crack launchers here. The crack launcher hit, wounded, failed the armor save. We need to see if it explodes. So it already is dead. On a 6, it'll explode. Doesn't explode. Could have been deadly with some characters around. But the people on board are going to have to disembark now. Alright, so we didn't lose anyone in the blast. So there's 10 warriors appeared out of there. We're still trying to hold that objective the best we can. But the because the repulsor already dedicated its firepower towards the Archon, they are nearer than the Archon now, but it's still going to cancel that out because they've already declared shots. So there's still the onslaught cannons and the stubber to go at the Archon. So he's going to have to do well here to get him. Okay, so the double onslaught cannon is fired at the Archon, as has the stubber, and with rerolls from the Captain and rerolls with the Lieutenant, there's been 5 wounds put on the Archon. Now here's where it gets tense. We've got an invulnerable 2 save. As soon as we fail that invulnerable 2 save, we no longer have a 2 save. So we can't be rolling ones. That is the top and bottom of it. And this isn't the game to have that rule in play. Alright, so the first shot, we've saved on a 2. Second shot, we've saved. Third shot, we've saved. Fourth shot, we've lost our shadow field. That is bad news when we're about to be assaulted. So he's taken a wound, and the shadow field is no longer with us. On a 6+ with the power from pain rule, I will not take that wound. No, so he's taken that wound and the shadow field is down. Worst case scenario. Okay, so we're on to the assault phase. So we're doing charges now. So the Dreadnought will be charging into the warriors. Now we've got a blaster in there and the Dark Lance. We'll fire the blaster first. And this will happen. We'll roll a 6. And we'll roll a 4. Which means it wounded him. And then we've got a 6 for damage. Finally got a 6. And he only had 6 wounds left. So he's dead. Let's see if he explodes on a 6. No, alright, he goes down quietly. But we killed the Dreadnought in Overwatch after all this time. We've been shooting at him. All it took was an Overwatch shot. Who knew? Right, so the Dreadnought's out of the way. The Intercessor Squad's going to go in. Let's see if we can snipe them with a blaster as well. Needing a 6.
Oh!
Okay. 2+. We'll get him. Go straight through his armour. Damage is 6. Why we're rolling 6s now when we don't really need it, but we'll take it. So there's one Intercessor dead. We've got a Dark Lance. Will it do the same? He's a 6. No, it doesn't. Alright, then we've got a few smattering of carbines now. Okay, if the Warriors were going to do this well, I would have got them out a long time ago. They've shaved off another wound with the Splinter Rifles. So there's still 4 left, and it's more than enough to take on this unit. So they're going to charge in. No point rolling the dice because they're right on the doorstep anyway, so we'll move those in. Alright, let's see if we can continue the trend. The Lieutenant is going to charge in first against all of the Warriors, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so the Blaster. Oh, Dark Lance. You can't see it, can you?
I can, there you go.
And it's a 6. Alright, 2's to wound, come on. Oh! We deserved that. We absolutely deserved to get that wound. But it didn't come. Alright, so we've got the Splinter Rifles now. Let's see if we can just peg them off with some good old fashioned small arms. We can reroll 1s because we're next to the Archon. No.
That's a lot of 6s.
But that is a lot of 6s. So 5 6s in there. Wound on 4s. 4 wounds, 7 on 3s.
Oh.
What can you do about that? 3s?
3s, here we go. Oh,
Takes
no.
a wound. Alright, so we're going to move on to assaults. The characters have moved in. We've heroically intervened with the Archon. And this squad even joins the fight here. So we've heroically intervened onto this squad. This squad can't fight the Archon, but everyone here is fighting the Warriors. But we're going to start the combat over there. So there's a lot of attacks, 9 I think, on the 4 Warriors left. So they get a good roll, only 3 misses. 3's to wound now. So they get 5. So we have to save 5 on armor saves of 5. Oh, we get 3, and then 6s for power from pain. No, we've lost 2 in that fight, unfortunately. So down to only 3 left, right. Okay, over here we've got the Intercessor Squad. They're going to fight the Warriors, so 7 attacks, because the Sergeant is still with them. And then full rerolls, because the Captain is with them. And all but 1. And then 3's to wound. Rerolling 1s because of the Lieutenant. There's 3 1s in there. Right, all but 1. So that's how many is that?
3 6.
6. Right. Come on, laddies. Right, save 2, and then power from pain. We'll get a further 1. So 3 have died so far, and then still have to put up with the attacks from the Captain. So I'll just put those aside. So 3, and then the Captain, he's got 5 attacks. And reroll. No, so 4 hits, and then wounds on 3s. Gets them all. Right, no saves, and it's damage 2. So we're going to have to do 2 apiece. So the first one is dead. Second one is dead. Third one, he's dead as well. Fourth is dead. So there's another 4 dead. So we've got only 3 left, I think, and the lieutenant will now fight. He's got 4 attacks with his butt of his rifle. He's hit them all, and 3's to wound. Rerolls 1s, and he's got 2. Right, so we do not save, and then we need 6s for power from pain, which we do not get. So we've got 1 warrior left standing amongst all of that. All right, so the captain and lieutenant have piled in as the fort been done. Okay, so we've got over here, we fought with the warriors, killed an intercessor. Wow. So there's 3 apiece there. If the Dark Eldar hold the morale on that side of the board, they're going to contest that objective with the Primaris Marines. In your face, Primaris Marines. And then over here we're attacked with the warrior leader, didn't do anything, but now we've got the Archon who did his heroic intervention. He's going to fight the intercessors. He's got 5 attacks and he's hitting on 2s. Hits them all. This is with a husk blade, so he's wounding on 4s. He gets 3. Right, it's AP -2, so he's saving on 5s. On 3 dice.
3.
He's failed 2, and it's D3 damage each. So the first one, he only takes a wound, so the next damage kills him. So we've killed 1 intercessor with a husk blade. Right, so it's morale check time. We've lost 9 in this group, so he's going to automatically fail because he's only leadership 8, and we're not high enough on the power from pain table where we can just ignore morale. So he's gone. Now, the worst part, we've got 7 dead in that squad. There's 3 left with leadership 8. We need to roll a 1, or we'll lose anything but a 1, and we're going to lose more. And we need to stay alive to contest our objective. So we could really do with a 1. No, we've lost the whole squad. So the Ultramarines will get that objective in the end. So at the end of the Ultramarines turn 3, they're going to score 1 victory point for that objective over there, and they're going to score 1 victory point over here. I've still got a character within 3, but if there's more, it's got to be if only 1 person has a character. So it reverts back to the model count, how many models are within range of the objective, and the Ultramarines have got more models there, so they're going to capture that for a second objective as well. So 2 points for the Ultramarines. It might be too little too late, but we're just going to have to see. Turn 4 for the Drukhari, and in this turn you don't have to take morale tests, but I've lost all my warriors when that would have been great last turn, but it's not to be. We're down to 2 flyers left, an Archon in the fight, the Warlord Archon over here, still with his Shadow Field up, and this Venom. So we're still really down on units now, but we're going to try and make them count. So first of all, what we're going to do is, because the Lieutenant, he did pile into this combat, he is within an inch of the Archon, what we're going to do is we're just going to shoot him with our blast pistol, see if we can just take him straight out. So here we go, he's hitting on a 2. He's hit, needs a 2, gets it, there's no save, it's D6 damage. 4, we've killed the Lieutenant, blew his head off with a blast pistol. Beautiful stuff. Right, we're going to continue the streak, we're going to fire the Venom into the Captain, because he is the nearest. He had no choice but to be the nearest after the combat went the way they did, and the way we pulled casualties. So here we go, 3's to hit. Reroll 1s, but there's not a 1 to be found. That was just a good roll straight out of the gate. 4's to wound with the poison weaponry. Alright, there's 4 wounds on the Captain. He's going to save on 3s. He's got 5 wounds left. Oh, what was that? 2 fills on the Captain. It's just damage 1. It's just 2 fills. He's down to 3 wounds left. Wow, could we just snipe this Captain out of there? So we're going to have the damaged flyer fire all shots at the Captain. Let's see if we can peg him off. So the double splinter rifle, reroll 1s because of the Kabal. Yep. And so there's 2 hits on a 5, 4s to wound. We'll get a single wound, needs a save on a 3. What's he got for us? What did he get?
He got a 6.
It's behind the flyer. So he's saved. Right, we're going to do Dark Lancers at him now, see if we can peg him off. No hits. Ooh. Right, we're going to have to select our missile carefully here. Actually no, we're going to go for the same shot as before, the neurotoxin missile. So it's D3 3 D3 shots, but we've only rolled a 1 on each dice. So hitting on 5s, get 1, wounds on a 2, we'll get a wound, needs to save on a 3. He's failed on a 2, right? He's down to 2 wounds left, but I don't have anything left to fire at him. Right, we're going to move on to the second flyer. It's going to do monoscythe missiles at the intercessor squad at the back. So this is the one that's strength 6, 2 damage, and then we're going to fire the double dart lance at this tank. See if we can blow it up once and for all. So here we've got 2 dart lances. We've hit once. Doesn't wound. It's going to survive. I can't believe it. Right, so the 2 splinter rifles at them, long range, 2 hits, needs 4s, get 1, save on a 3. Saves, right, and then we've got the monoscythe missile, D6, only 2, 3s to wound, we get 2 wounds, and then 2 hits, and then 3s to wound, get 1 wound, save on a 3, but he's filled it, but it's 2 damage, so you've lost a guy. Nice. Alright, so that is the end of the shooting phase. Again, it's a bad scene on the Dark Lance front, but that blast pistol was a choice one, blowing that lieutenant's head clean off. Alright, so it's straight on to assault, so we're going to have this ongoing combat here. The Archon is fighting the intercessors once again, so here he goes. He's hit them all, which is nice. 4s to wound. He's got 2 wounds, that might be all he needs, so you need to save on 5s. I would appreciate a double fail here. So he saves 1 and only 1, and then it's D3 damage, just the 1, so don't even kill an intercessor, they're going to fight back. It's going to be deadly, right? So they've got 3 attacks from the sergeant, 2 attacks from the other guy, so it's 5 attacks from these. All hit, and then needing 3s to wound. 4 wounds. Saving on 5s now, we're without our shadow field. But we do get 2, and then need power from pain saves, which we don't get, so we're taking another 2 wounds, so we've got 2 wounds left now on the Archon. Alright, so I can't contest this objective because once again it reverts back to how many models are within 3, and I think the Ultramarines might still have those intercessors within 3. Just got an intercessor within 3, so that's going to block the Dark Eldar from blocking the Ultramarines. So no points here, no points there, but the Archon, he's having a good old rummage through that objective, so he's got 4 points now. He's been on there for 4 turns. Sorry, correction, he's got 3 points, he's been on there for 3 turns. Right, it's Ultramarines turn 4, and they've still got this vehicle in play. It's the bane of my life, this. So it's still going to fire, it's still hitting on 5s. The intercessors, they move down here, they're going to try and take on this line of vehicles to try and get to the Archon. So the captain, he's going to stay after this objective, and he's going to take on the second in command Archon. He's only got 2 wounds left, but so is the captain, so this might be a showdown for the ages. And then we've got the 2 intercessors, he's moved off, he's going to try and shoot, possibly at the flyers, just try and keep them humble. The intercessors from the backfield, they've advanced, can't see anything, and the hunter has still got a shot through the wall onto this venom if needs be. So what's shooting first then?
Okay, so I'm going to start cutting 3 shots into yours.
Yeah, so captain with these auto bolt storm pistol gauntlet thing, hits them all, and then wound on 3s. He's got 3. It's really hard to see past that flyer. So here we go, wounding. They've all wounded, so it's saving on 5s. We'll get 1, we've only got 2 wounds left, we need 6 to stay alive on power from pain. We do get a 6, he's still alive, on his last wound, he lives. Alright, we've got 2 intercessors, they're firing at the venom at a -1, so they're hitting on 4s, but can reroll 1s and 2s because of the captain. So they're going to need it, 1s and 2s reroll. and there's 2 hits, but only 2 hits, and then 5s to wound.
2.
We get double wound, so at AP -1, saving on 5s for the venom. We get 1, but only 1. So we suffered our first wound on that venom. It's got 5 wounds left. Alright, so the hunter's going to fire now. It's firing at the flyer. It's hitting on 5s, and it's got a missile that can reroll failed hit rolls. To roll a 6 straight off the bat. And what is that?
2.
It's a 2. That's no wound. Right, the repulsor's hitting on 5s. It's putting all of its shots on the venom. Okay, so the repulsor is fired. Pretty much every shot went towards the venom except the stubber, which went after the Archon. He's put a wound on the Archon with the stubber, and it's because it's got full rerolls with the captain, so even when it's damaged, it's still getting all of some shots hitting. So the stubber is AP -1, so we need to save on a 6, and then we need a 6 again, or he's dead. He's dead. The Archon finally goes down to a slice shot with a stubber. That's heartbreaking. And then we've got 2 shots from the onslaught cannons at this, so it's AP -1. Did end up hitting and wounding, so only 2, so we need to save on 5s. Make 1, fail 1, so it's that 4 wounds left, and then we'll have it was just 1 fragstorm thing hit and wounded, but we do save that on a 4 anyway. So we've got 4 wounds left on the venom, and I think we've escaped with our life here. Right, last 2 shots of the guys at the back. They're going to fire long range at this damaged flyer, so needing 4s to hit. They get 2 hits, now needing 5s. We get 1. We need to save on a 5, invulnerable 5. No, we take a wound on our last wound now. This flyer is just limping through the sky somehow, if that makes sense. Alright, so that is the end of the Ultramarines' turn. They've still got that objective, so there's 1 point. And the captain now has been on this objective for 2 turns, so he's going to score 2 points. So 3 points for the Ultramarines in that turn. Time's running out for the Ultramarines, but units are running out for the Dark Eldar. Okay, Drukhari turn 5 now. We must take out this repulsor because it deserves to die. So we've moved the flyers around. We're going to try. It's basically a carbon copy of what happened last turn. So the damaged flyer's flown over here. It's still closer to the captain now that the captain is over there, funnily enough. So he's going to have another crack at the captain. This flyer's going to have another crack at the repulsor. And the venom is going to just try and blow those 2 guys away. And that's all we've got. So we're going to have to do it. Worthy of noting that this is now within 6 of the Archon. Just clipping that thing, we just push the Archon forward a little bit, just so you've got there. So it's going to reroll 1, so we're going to try and make this happen. So here we go. We've got all weapons at that repulsor, but the double splitting rifles going at the intercessors. So 2 Dark Lancers at that. We've got 1 hit. 4 to wound. We're all 3 and don't get us right. It's becoming increasingly upsetting. Right, now we're going to do the missiles that have strength 7 at it. I can't remember what they're called, so here we go. We're getting 1 shot out of it. We're not going to kill it this round. This is totally depressing. And we'll miss anyway, but we'll reroll 1s. So we do get a hit. We need a 5 to wound. We'll reroll failed wounds with this missile. No. No. That's just really, really disappointing. Alright, the twin small arms at the front of the nose at the intercessors. Reroll 1s. Okay, we've got all hits, needing 4s. Get 2 wounds, 7 on 3s for these guys. Will these perish in the just 1 wound? Ugh. Right, this venom is going to fire at the intercessors in the open, and he's rerolling 1s. And it's just as well. Okay, right, so we've got 2, 3, 4 miss, and 4s to wound. That's much better. Right, we've got 6 wounds on the intercessors. If you can just produce 3 fails for us, I'll be very grateful. And that'll do. There's 4 fails in fact, so the squad's dead in the street. That's at least we killed them, but the repulsor's still alive. That's really hard to bear. Right, here we go, last chance. This flyer, hitting on 5s, everything at the captain. So the guns in the nose, we've missed them all. We're going to do the neurotoxin missile again. So this is the D3, 3D3 shot version. Again, we've got 2, 2 and a 1, so that's 5 shots. Needing 5s to hit this captain. It's got 1 hit, needs a 2, and we're failing the wound, right? It's down to Dark Lancers, or I'm just going to scream. 5s, we got 1 hit, needs a 2. We'll get it. He's got an invulnerable 3 save, and he could just tit us on the chin. He doesn't.
Command reroll.
Command reroll, he's been harbouring that all game.
See if we get it back.
See if he gets his command point back.
We do.
He does get his command point back. Right, 1 or 2.
Yellow dice.
And it means trouble.
Oh, come on.
Yes! Right. Anything but a 1 and we'll kill the captain. If I roll a 1, it'll just be the story of the game. It's a 5. We've smoked the captain like a kipper. He goes down. We all rejoice. All one of us, because there's only 1 guy left. Alright, so with the death of the captain, it was a long time coming, but we finally got our man. So that's going to be Warlord kill, and not only that, that could actually see us free, because no longer will this get rerolls and all of its 100 billion shots if it's hitting on 5s. So killing the captain is just as good as killing that vehicle, I think. So that is Warlord kill. It's still going to score that objective, but it's not going to be half as many points as if the captain was taking it. So it's a point for there, there's 1 point, and we've been holding this for 4 turns now, so it's 4 points for that objective, 5 points for the turn. Kicking and screaming, we're dragging this game to a victory. Right, we're into Ultramarine turn 5, and with the death of the captain, that's just turned the game around for the Drukhari. Ahead on points, but there was a chance that the captain could have just sat on that objective and just racked up the points. Because again, as long as you've got a character on the objective, he stays there for turn after turn, and if the game continued, he might be able to get the Ultramarines back in. But he's died now, so the only option the Ultramarines have left is to take out this vehicle, to get to the Archon, and then that's tabling. So, these 2 intercessors at the back, at long range, they're going to fire at the Venom, so 2 shots, hitting on 4s. Gets 1 hit, and needs a 5 to wound. Doesn't wound. Right, what's up next then?
The this little drill, everything kind of that.
Right, so it's now got no longer full rerolls with the captain, so I might find this a little bit harder. It's still at a -1, so it's hitting on 6s, so a lot of shots still, everything at the Venom. Okay, so the repulse is fired, it's hitting on 6s exclusively against the Venom now, but it chose, and changed his mind, he fired 2 las cannons up into the sky and missed the big flyer. So this is what it looks like. We've got 2 wounds to try and save off the AP -1 weapons on that tank. So save on 5s. Oh, that's a really good start. We've only got 2 wounds left on this Venom. We've got a basic wound to save with no AP on a 4. We save that. Now here's the big one. He still could kill it because he's got a crack storm shot that hit, and this is D3 damage. So if we save this on a 5, no, it's a 4, right? It's D3 damage. You need a 2 to kill it. It's just D1, D3. That's just a 1. So it's still got a wound left. That might save the day there. It survives. Right, the hunter at the back. He's going to fire at the flyer.
Needing 5.
He's hitting on a 5 because he's got a. That's what it is. But he's rolled a 4, and he can reroll that because it's a built-in reroll of the gun. Okay, that is a 6. It is a hit. 3's to wound. Gets a wound as well. We've got an invulnerable 5 on the flyer. We get it right. For some reason, right now we're getting our saves. So deny that. It's only the assault bolters left. What are they going to shoot at?
They're going to shoot at the Viper.
Okay, the Venom. So there's 3, 6, 12 shots coming out of them, hitting on 4s. Oh, of course, it's worthy to say that they did play Signs of Gulliman. That was the plan. So reroll 1s because of Signs of Gulliman. Reroll those 1s. And he does hit on 4s, so you got to get rid of that 3. So here we go, wounding on 4s. So that's 2, 3 wounds. Right.
See if I get that one back.
So 7 on 5s. Right, safe 1, but there's the 2 wounds. We've lost the Venom. Let's see if it explodes. It does explode. That is catastrophic news. Gonna have to see how it explodes. Right, so we just knew that was going to happen, but it's only 1 mortal wound when a Venom explodes, thankfully. So it's a mortal wound on the flyer, and it's a mortal wound on the Archon. So he's got a save of 6 because of his feel no pain. No, so he's taken his first wound. He's got 4 wounds left, but his shadow field still is in play. But it's only when you fail his shadow field save. So he hasn't been forced to use it, but it's a mortal wound. So he's still intact. The fly is still blocking him from being shot at. But that's all the Ultramarines have got for this turn. That could be it. So, does the game continue on a 3?
See if I get a command roll back.
Okay.
Nope.
The command point does not come back. So the Ultramarines have finally run out of command points. And the game ends on a 1 or a 2. Yeah, that's when it's handy to be able to roll ones on demand. There we go. So the game has ended. That's no, it's going to be 1 point for the Ultramarines for that turn, but they're well behind on the points anyway. So that was a brutal game. Everything's died. The Dark Eldar only have this flyer left, the Archon. The Ultramarines have got the Hunter. It's down on its last wound. These 2 guys. This is on its last 2 wounds. 2 intercessors, and the Dreadnought got knocked out, which is the most satisfying moment for me. So, yeah, that was gruesome.
Yeah.
Toe-to-toe bloody battle.
Could have done with another move there.
Yeah, kicking and screaming. The Drukhari brought that one to heel.